Welcome back. Wings aren't the only thing drawing people to the Queen City. Some see it as a history buff's dream. CBS correspondent Rocca is one of those people. He's in town today uncovering some of Buffalo's presidential history. From Millard Fillmore's life in East Aurora to the assassination of William McKinley, the Queen City has a unique past that you may not know about. And Mo is with us on the couch right now, and you're wearing your wing tie.
I am. I love it. It's Buffalo Fashion Week.
It's actually not Buffalo Fashion Week right now. We do have Buffalo Fashion Week. Right. It's in September, but we like to wear the latest styles on Winging It Buffalo style all the time, so we appreciate it.
Well, clearly no, but this I was very happy from BuffaloWingwear.com. I'm not a paid advertiser or spokesmodel. No, but the person, the designer. She didn't accost me. She found me. It was great. It was wonderful. It's clearly is very Buffalove.
That's how
style.
We are. Yes, we're friendly. We're friendly folks here.
Yeah.
So let's kind of set the stage for your visit to Buffalo. You're here working on your Millard Fillmore piece for CBS this morning, for CBS Sunday Morning.
That's right.
But you're also putting together a chicken wing based story for the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Okay. So earlier this week, you sent out a tweet.
Yeah, I used Twitter, and I think this is probably typical of what a lot of people in our business do. I thought, you know, I don't want to just do a story on wings. I want to actually eat wings with some Buffalonians, and some Buffalonians that'll be interesting and that maybe that the city knows and the rest of the country might want to get to know a little bit. And so I just simply, on impulse, said, who's the coolest person living in Buffalo? And I got a tidal wave of response.
Quite a reaction. Were you expecting that?
No, I mean, I knew that people in Minnesota were fanatic about their state. I'd experienced that, but it is trumped definitely by just the Buffalove. I mean, it comes on strong, and it's good because it's genuine.
We're proud. We're proud people. We're proud of our city, and we really like when people from outside the city recognize us in a positive way. So I think that might be part of why we did come on so strong with our Twitter responses. And it's also kind of a small town. It's a big small town, so we all kind of know each other, and word spread fast. So we're very excited to have you here. We can't wait to hear who you're going to be eating wings with in this story. Can you give us any clue?
Well, we've put together a panel, I think, of Buffalonians that exemplify the best. One is a legendary Buffalo Bill.
Okay. What position did he play?
Oh, geez. Well, I mean,
not to put you on the spot.
He tackled people.
Okay.
I know that. And sometimes he ran with the ball.
Okay.
I think, well, no, I don't, anyway.
Okay.
He was very good.
Okay, legendary Bill.
He's in the
From the Super Bowl years.
Well, he was in 4 Super Bowls.
Okay.
All right.
But
that's not his fault. It's like, you know, there's all sorts of variables that go into that. And he's in the Hall of Fame. Okay. And then the second is a legendary lounge performer.
And I think I know who that one is.
And he's great. He has, I mean, if he were in here, you wouldn't be talking about my tie.
He wears great outfits, talking about style. Okay. So
and
that's
then the other
musician.
Exactly. And this other is just a captivating young civic booster, and I think she's engaged to be married, and she's very into clean energy, and she's terrific. And I think the three of them, look, if this goes well, we could have our own reality series. I would move here, and it would just be great.
I think that would be great too. We could include this in this show as well. So can you tell us where you went to go to eat wings? Or?
Well, we're actually going to be doing that today.
Okay, you're going to be doing that today. Yeah. But yesterday you visited Forest Lawn. You were looking into the life of Millard Fillmore.
Right, our 13th president.
Tell us about your interest in covering presidents.
You know, I grew up right outside of Washington, D.C., and it's funny, I like to think that, you know, if you grow up in Los Angeles, you're probably obsessed with Hollywood, and when you grow up in D.C., kind of the president is sort of what I call the above the title film star. And, you know, the gates of Paramount in L.A., the gates of the White House in D.C., so maybe it's kind of inborn, and anyway, and I like the quirky presidents, the ones that you can't remember were actually president. They're the guys between Lincoln and Teddy Roosevelt.
The pre-modern presidents.
Yeah, exactly. And Millard Fillmore, first of all, anytime you say the name, people laugh. Like when I said I'm going up to Buffalo to do a story on Millard Fillmore, everyone starts laughing.
Why do you think that is?
I don't, because you know what I think is? I think that the name, it just sounds, it's the MLR sound, Millard Fillmore.
And you don't hear you don't hear the name Millard very often anymore.
You don't hear it. And so maybe this story will help the name come back.
All right. Hey, making a difference. Absolutely.
By the way, I just had to point out, the modern shoe was invented in Buffalo. And if you go to Forest Lawn Cemetery, you can pay homage, either one, to Mr. Bloker, I think was his name.
Now, what makes a shoe modern?
Well, before this guy, this Buffalonian, invented the modern shoe, there was no difference between the left and the right shoe. So you basically just had like these foot cover things, and you would just and in a sense, it's actually more efficient to have no difference, because then if you lose a shoe, it doesn't matter.
Or you can switch them.
But I think that they were very uncomfortable. And so Mr. Blocher said we need to create arches. And he also brought us tongues for shoes. So basically before, people were just grabbing stuff and wrapping their feet.
You're welcome, world, for your shoes, right?
yes, exactly. And Buffalo was the first city illuminated by street lamps.
I knew that one.
Okay. And the first person to be sent to the electric chair was from Buffalo.
Buffalo, that's right. So does this happen everywhere you go? You're known for doing these feature pieces, these interesting profiles. Do you get somewhere typically and find out all these other little tidbits of information?
Well, that would make me a whore, basically, if I was just going to every city and just pouring on the love.
Don't sell yourself short, Mo.
Was that?
I said, don't sell yourself short.
No. This is but Buffalo is special. For a couple of other cities, I'll do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have another show too. You're not just the correspondent for CBS. You have a cooking show.
I have a cooking show where I'm learning how to cook from grandmothers and grandfathers across the country.
Love the premise of that.
And in fact, we are casting, because I don't know how to cook. It's pathetic that I'm in my mid-40s, and I feel very ashamed that I had this amazing grandmother who made us these gargantuan Sunday meals growing up, and I never learned how to cook from her.
But I think that's a typical story. You shouldn't feel bad. I think a lot of people have that shared experience.
I think
absolutely.
I think that makes me feel better, and I know you're right. And but anyway, we're casting for season 3, and we actually would love to come to Buffalo. So if there are any grandparents, and if you can volunteer your own grandfather. Chef Marco, are you a grandfather?
No, I have a dog. I'm a grand-dog.
But you have a lot of recipes that have been passed down from your family, and with bringing so many local chefs on the show, that is such a common thing that we hear. Is that's where they learned how to make their food, and that's how they became interested in the culinary art in the first place. So I know that there are some good candidates out there. So if you know one, how should they find you?
Go to grandparentswhocook.com. Grandparentswhocook.com. It's the simplest application. But I have found that the best people that come on the show are usually people that were volunteered by their kids or their grandkids.
Who kind of are saying, no, I don't want the spotlight, and then next thing you know, they open up, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a depressing thing for someone who's worked in TV for a while, but oftentimes people who don't want to be on TV are better at being on TV. You know what I mean?
Yes,
They're just, some of the grandparents are the ones that are, what's a maraca? Who's that? Why does he want to come in my kitchen? And it works out really well.
All right, and we do have to say that we did get you some wings today to eat to kind of start off your Buffalo breakfast, right? How about that? These are from Duff's. Have you had wings yet? I know you have the wing tie.
I have not had wings on this trip yet, but on my last few trips, I had wings, and I balanced it with beef on whack.
Perfect. That's a great Buffalo diet there. Well balanced Buffalo
the beef
diet.
on whack. It's Schwab's.
Schwab's. Yep.
That's supposed to be. Is that still the place to get a beef on whack?
Well, I don't want to go on the record and say what is the place to get it, but there are some wonderful places to eat beef on whack here in Buffalo. That could be your next story. There's beef on whack celebrities as well, just like there's.
By the way, I just have to point out for the viewers who didn't catch, just the terror in her eyes when I asked her to choose a place to eat.
Well, like I said, we're proud people. I have a Buffalo girl. It's like asking to choose your favorite child. You would never do that, right?
New York City's Mayor de Blasio eats these with a fork and knife.
With a fork and knife, yes. Yeah. Not here. We dive right in. Do you like the flat ones or the drumstick ones? Do you know there's a difference?
I like the drumsticks. Are those considered
I think
authentic?
Those are the more manly ones, and I think ladies go for the more flat.
Will little
version.
Lady have that flat one?
All right,
I'm gonna just devour. I'm just gonna eat the whole bone.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to wing it with us this morning, Mo Rocca. When can we see these reports that we're talking about? Now that your mouth is full of wings, can I guess? Can I guess the Millard Fillmore one will be on this Sunday morning? No, the next Sunday. The Sunday after that. Coming up on CBS this morning on our sister station, Channel 4. And then we also have our chicken wing story. That will be Super Bowl Sunday, I'm guessing, right? Okay. All right. Anything? Let's get you a napkin.
Wait, there was one other great thing. Buffalo is the Queen City, but it's also the city of good neighbors, but it's also the city of no illusions.
City of no illusions. There you go. You're all caught up to speed. I'm very impressed.
And when they say they love you in Buffalo, they still mean it the next morning. In Rochester, they forget your name.
All right, now we're throwing bones at Rochester. It is time to toss over to Emily Lenahan. It's time for our .com check, our Report It Recap. Hey, Em.